voices inside my head. See voices behind the wall, uplifting the underdog. We fighting above the law.
Deep diving into these cases is like dancing with the devil. But when you dance with the devil doesn't change. He changes you.
Happy Friday, everybody. TGIF. Good to see y'all. Who we got up in here? Checking convictions. Cotton candy boobs. Nico. Oh, there's Matthias. Yes, thank you for sticking your butt in my face. Tabby, Miss Mala. You guys been chatting up the storm. Happy Girl, Mr. Positive, Yvonne. No, chat just skipped, so I'm not sure if I missed anybody, but hi. Hope y'all had a great week and are enjoying your Friday. Hey, Tracy, Garzella.
That's just having dinner and then we'll call.
Green-eyed PI. So yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about Making a Murder. That's Steven Avery and Brandon Dassey. And we're going to have Cher's dad on. I'm going to give him a little bit of a rundown. Hey, Theo.
Not a little bit. It's study session for
Yeah,
Dad.
study session. We're throwing him in the deep end. Benny B, Smarty Pants, White Widow, Terry.
I almost got white little pop.
Shelly, No Name. Yeah, so I'm sure all of you are familiar with Brandon Dassey and Steven Avery and all of that. But we got a couple of experts on this case that are going to be coming up. We're checking convictions and Beckachew. If you need to know something about that case, those are the two ladies to go to.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have them up here with Papa Cher. And yeah, we're going to be sifting through some of this stuff. Hey, Truckman. How you doing, bud? Hey, Squid. Cher is drawing a horse?
Jay is drawing a horse
Jay is. Oh, is Cher.
on
No.
stocks.
Are they live right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Terry, it's going to be good. Well, Cher's dad, he really likes being on the podcast. He calls them podcast. Now we're calling them podcasts. But he likes interacting with everybody. He gets a real kick out of it.
Well, he likes work on cases. That's been his dream, and so he wants to get to know his case.
Mm-hmm.
Because Becca and Linda have been talking. Linda told my dad about him too, and he can. Yeah, you guys will be talking to Brendan's dad, and maybe even helping her fighting to try and get him out of there.
Mm. What's up, Buster? Got your message. Patriot Angel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that stuff's crazy. Hey, Tingle Bar, Shelly, Avery's mom, Isla, Rosie, True Crime, Loving Blonde, Becky. Boom, 1:30 already. Yeah, it's getting late. Whispering Hope. Did I change my name? Y'all never noticed me.
Mm-mm.
Well, guess who just got noticed? It's hard because when there's lots of people in the chat, it jumps on the phone. Like I'll miss like 10 comments. Oh, there's a ball upstairs. Hey, Kim. Smash that thumbs up, yo. Yes. Go ahead. Hit it. It's free. So subscribing. Just saying. All right. Well, before we, I think Cher sent the links out. I'm not sure. Do you have? Why do you guys show everybody your butt? Hey, goofball. Yes, you're a goofball.
Hey,
Honey.
you have to-
Oh, I have to mute for a second. Hang on, peeps. Didn't have to mute for that. I ate too much chocolate.
I just don't want him to get in trouble.
She's like, that's not good for you. I'm like, well, I mean, it's kind of her fault. She put it in a big bowl on my nightstand.
Yeah, but you have self-control.
No, I do not.
I guess
Not when it comes to chocolate. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate.
Well, you have your stress test coming up. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm not monitoring his food, guys, but he's got his heart issues and he has a stress test coming up. So
Hey, David Johnson. And by the way, for anyone who's wondering about that, I've been feeling much better. I've been on anti-anxiety meds for about a month, just about a month. And yeah, I'm feeling way, way better. I haven't had any of the fluttery chest or that band of tightness. It's gone. Yeah, I drank all the Pepsi and ate all the chocolate.
no, I don't eat it much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to do.
Marabella citalopram. Hello. Current. Yeah, exactly, Benny. Candy is not safe around me. Especially chocolate. That's my big one. He just can't help it. He just wants to be on camera.
Yeah.
Hey, Seth.
Hey, Seth.
I've been having that fluttery chest thing a lot lately. Never in my life I had something like that. It's so weird. Yeah, you should get it checked out. I mean, heart palpitations usually aren't anything to be like really worried about. Just your heart gets a little bit out of whack. It's not the end of the world, but it can be serious.
I tried to make I accidentally the whole syringe went on one candy.
Oh God.
I gotta let that dry. Look. What?
Yeah, you can feel fine and still have a problem. Even when I get that, it's my panic attacks though. Yeah. Yeah, panic attacks suck.
Come on. You seriously get out of here? Ah.
All right, so back to the mission at hand. For those of you who don't know, I'll give you a very quick rundown. Steven Avery and Brandon Dassey. It's been a long time since I really studied this case, so I'm kind of fuzzy on the details. But long time ago, Steven Avery was wrongfully convicted of rape. I can't remember the lady's name, but he served 18 years in prison and was eventually cleared been released. He then filed a lawsuit against the Manitowoc County, and he was going to win. He was set to win, I think it was something in the neighborhood of $30 million. And the Manitowoc County, their insurance company, would not cover it. So Manitowoc County directly was going to be financially responsible for this. So that was going to be a huge, huge problem. He was out of prison for, I don't even know how long, a year, maybe two. He wasn't out of prison very long. And then this lady, Teresa Halbach, goes missing. And the last place she was known to have been was Steven Avery's 2 years. Thanks, checking. So they instantly went at Steven. And they couldn't find nothing for months and months and months. But evidence was planted and lies were said, and there was a whole big conspiracy. And he wound up being convicted, as well as his nephew, Brendan. Because Brendan was 16 at the time, and he was we'll say a slow learner. He wasn't he was kind of slow. And he was coerced and misled, and basically he felt that if he told a story that he would get to go back to school. He was actually, that was his worry. It's like, am I going to get to go back to school? And he had no idea how much trouble he actually put himself in. And there's no way that that confession should have been allowed. 100%. No minor should ever be questioned by authorities without a parent or an attorney present. Ever. In any situation.
Yeah.
But that's what happened. And because Brendan made this story that the police cooked up, they basically fed it to him and he repeated it. He was convicted. And because of that, Steven was convicted. All on this coerced confession. There was absolutely no evidence that put either Steven or Brendan at the crime scene. And the other sick thing is the way that it was described, the murder took place, did not make sense. It didn't add up.
It's like overkill.
Yeah, they had Teresa being tied to the bed. There was no evidence that she was ever in that house. There was no marks on the bedposts, nothing. They said that they stabbed her in the bed. There was absolutely no blood of hers in that house. They said they then took her outside, walked her 30 feet or whatever it was to their garage and shot her. Again, no blood was ever found. They did find a bullet in the garage after searching that garage multiple times for months. They somehow just see this bullet laying there. Mm. But then the really stupid thing is there was Teresa's blood found in the back of her own vehicle. So what the police said that they did was they put her, after they shot her, they put her body in the back of her vehicle, then drove that vehicle 50 feet, if that, to the burn pit, unloaded her, and set her on fire.
Yeah.
Does that story make sense to any of you? None. It did not happen.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much more yet. Checking. Her whole body was in there, but bones were cut. They found bones in various places on Avery's property and off Avery's property. Not even sure that they were Teresa's remains or if they were animal bones. I think the most confirmation I ever saw was likely human. So,
I'm good.
like,
Are
what
you
the hell?
ready to learn about Brandon Dassey and Steven Avery?
It's free Brendan Dassey.
So,
Five
we're gonna have Mark.
locations, yeah.
We're having Linda up here and then also Becca, and they actually speak a few times a week with Brandon Dassey's father. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start the interrogation of Brandon Dassey tonight, but it's so long, we're going to break it down into pieces. So you'll have lots of podcasting to do, okay? Wow. So Mark is going to give you, because he has been very passionate about these cases for years. He's going to give you a rundown, and you are live right now on Mark's podcast tonight.
I am?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Hello, everybody. Hi, Mark.
Hey, bud.
so I'm gonna Becca is here now. She can hear you, and Linda will be up here in a few minutes, Dad.
Hi.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, Becca.
Hi, Papa Cher. Hi, Mark. How's Cher?
Hi, Becca. Thanks for doing this. So I'm going to, because you guys are the pros on this case, I'm going to let you guys figure out where you want to start with us with Dad and go from there. Dad, ask any questions as you have them. Just say, hey, stop. I have a question, and we'll try to get to it. And we're also going to start playing some of the interrogation tapes tonight for you too.
Okay, well, I don't know anything at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll,
It'd probably be best to start in 1985.
Yeah, go back to Stevens for, yeah. Okay, go ahead, babe.
okay, so there are two main people involved with this, Steven Avery and Brendan Dassey.
Did you get the pictures, Dad, and the little info on them?
Stephen Avery and Brendan?
Yep.
Yep.
I gotta write this stuff down.
I sent you
Brendan,
text
what's the last name?
messages. Did you get the text with Brendan and Steven's pictures and their little, what they,
Yeah.
okay.
But I don't know what they're charged with or anything, or if they're in jail.
Yeah, they're both in prison.
Sorry?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
both in prison.
Okay, Stephen Avery and Brendan, what's his last name?
Dassey.
Dassey?
Yeah, Dassey.
Okay. And they're both in prison.
Yep.
Where?
One,
Wisconsin?
Brendan's in Oshkosh Correctional in Wisconsin, and then Steven is at Wupon Correctional in Wupon, Wisconsin.
Okay. What are they in jail for?
For the murder of Teresa Halbach.
Yeah.
But
Well, and
Dad, they're
Brendan's
gonna go-
charges
they're
are
gonna go
different
back.
than Steven's too.
Hold on, Becca. Hold on one second. So I sent my dad right before this something. So Dad,
Yeah.
they told
I'll
you they
send it
gotta
to
go
you
back
later.
to like 85. I sent you the little info on Steven, and it says he was wrongfully convicted in the past. Did you read that part?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
read
let
that.
these guys take you back to what, because you really got to understand what happened with Steven at the beginning back then to understand the current reason they're in prison.
Okay. And are these guys related to each other somehow, or?
Yes.
Yeah. Steven is Brendan's uncle.
Okay.
Chucky needs a link.
I sent it to her.
He needs it through Facebook. I forgot.
I think Becca said she sent it. Oh, you put that on there. You got my beard. Okay. Thank you very much, Noni Davis.
Oh, did you send it, Becca?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're just trying to get Linda up here, Dad. Thank you,
Okay.
Noni.
Okay, so Becca, it was 1985 when Steven was convicted, right?
Yeah, 1985 or 1980. Yeah, it's 1985 because he had two sons that were born that year, and he never got to see them or he got to see them, but he just got to see them born, and like literally like a week later he was arrested for his first conviction.
Okay, so back then, this guy Steven Avery, he was not really well liked around the town. Like the family was kind of, they lived off the grid, kind of on their own, and they were like viewed as kind of like outcasts.
Right.
Gotcha.
But this a young woman was raped on a beach, and this was the police's opportunity to nail this guy, and they just made up a whole thing and convicted him of rape.
Steven.
Yeah.
Steven, yes.
The guy drew a picture.
They convicted him.
Right.
They did.
Yeah. So what happened was that during Penny Bernstein's assault, she was punched severely in the face, so her eyes were swollen shut. So when they showed her the picture that one of the law enforcement people drew, which was basically Steven's picture that he took from, because Steven's been arrested a few times before this for petty stuff.
They had his mugshot.
Yeah, so they had his mugshot. So when they showed it to her, they pretty much convinced her that that was him, so they went and got him. This was also before DNA evidence was really fully used.
Yeah.
So they had DNA evidence, but they didn't. Go ahead.
Did they have evidence? Did they take like a rape kit at the time?
Yeah, they did a rape kit on her. They got DNA evidence from her. I think it was semen that they obtained. Was it semen or hair?
No. There was hair. They didn't. Yeah. There was no rape because he couldn't perform. So
there was. It was an assault.
Yeah, they couldn't perform. So he couldn't perform. So he beat the hell out of her, left her for dead. She couldn't see, but one of the officers said, "Oh, that sounds like Steven Avery." So they grabbed his mugshot, and the guy that was doing the sketch artist, we call him the pencil in the case, he drew exactly. I mean, he might as well have traced it. It looked that much like his mugshot. They showed that to her.
Really?
Then they showed her a lineup with that picture in there. So these are things, she heard his name. So it's like, confirmational thoughts, she already had it in her head. So that's what she said. That's what she thought she seen. Okay. They convicted him. He also had 14 witnesses, receipts. No, he had 21 witnesses, receipts where he was with his family in Green Bay at Burger King and at the store. They all said everybody was lying, and they never submitted that.
Because they were all family.
Yeah, because they were all family. So it was
okay. Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so then they convicted him. Okay, so
18 years later.
Well, not really, because he was in there for 8 years.
Yeah,
and a sheriff called the prison and said, "I think we have the guy that really committed this crime, and you have somebody wrongfully convicted in there." Well, they took that note and they just kind of tucked it away and didn't say anything for another 8 years. And then they did some testing, and he was released on DNA testing through hair.
18 years later.
18 years later.
So he sat there for 10 years, knowing that it was Gregory Allen who committed the assault. But they kept telling, and by the way, while Steven was in prison, Gregory Allen was calling Penny Bernstein, the victim, saying, "I see you, and I'm still out to get you," and so she would call and report these phone calls, and they would be like, "No, we got the guy. He's in prison."
That was part of his MO.
Those calls. That's not, but that was because Gregory Allen that was part of his MO.
Yep.
And he would call the victim and harass them for a while.
And he committed other crimes. But
he committed other rapes, other assaults. So it wasn't until he broke into a woman's house and tied up their kid that they got him. Yeah.
So he had a lawsuit because they were knowingly keeping him there wrongfully, and he was suing the city or his county, Manitowoc, for $36 million. And so then
The
Teresa,
wrongful conviction.
right,
Mhm.
for the wrongful conviction.
36, yeah.
And they were doing depositions, and the two most important depositions before them happened. They got Teresa Halbach ended up being missing, and they pinned that on him. Okay, so
She went
Right.
missing.
she went missing,
Did they
and
find her?
then, excuse me,
Well, she showed.
what did
Did
you
they
say?
find her?
Yeah.
No.
No, I mean they found
They
bones.
found bones and stuff. So she was murdered, Dad.
Yeah,
They think
Okay.
here's
All
the
right.
thing is that they don't have indefinite proof that those bones are hers.
right. There's
Yeah.
So there's a theory out there
Oh,
that
that-
she could still be alive, but a lot of supporters don't believe that theory. But like, I don't personally believe that
don't
theory, but anything in this case is possible.
exactly.
So Dad, he sued for $36 million, won that, and right before he was supposed to be
No, he
paid,
didn't win that. He
did not
took a
win.
settlement.
he did
won.
win like almost $7 million lawsuit. Yes, he did.
No,
And
he
No,
won
settled,
40.
$450,000. He
he
settled.
settled for $450,000 that went to attorneys. Yeah. So Dad, he won millions of dollars, and he
Yeah.
got the payout, and he only got $450,000 of the millions of dollars owed to him, and it all went to attorney's fees to fight while he's in prison.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't win the case. He just settled it.
Yeah, he
He
was
settled.
going to win,
He would have
sure.
won.
but
Yeah,
it wasn't
would-
actually.
yeah.
but it
He
wouldn't have been
settled out of
36
court.
million. Right. He settled out of court, and just before
Okay.
it happened, just
So-
before the last 2
So
days.
they released them.
No. He got convicted on this next
Yeah,
murder.
he's still in prison now. So is Brandon. They're both in prison still.
Right. So that's what happened.
That's-
Teresa, basically, somebody, I believe it was Steven, he set up an appointment with Teresa Halbach to
Take
come and
photos.
photograph of a car so that they can put it in Auto Trader so they can sell the van. So Teresa Halbach showed up. She took pictures of the van, and according to Steven, she left. And then, what was it? November 4th, her family still hadn't heard from her. So then they called a missing persons report.
Right.
And Steven Avery, although was not the last person to see her because she did make another stop at
The
this
zipper.
place at the Zippers, the Manitowoc Police Department said she was the last stop here, so you obviously did something. And then that's when they started planting evidence, and they got poor Brendan.
They did 7
They-
searches of his trailer before they
Okay,
found the
how-
key.
How do you know they planted evidence?
Well, here's how we know. They did when she first became missing, 2 officers went and checked his trailer, and they said, I think they got the wrong guy. Nothing here, nothing to see. Okay. But because
Right.
they,
Yeah.
they followed through the, her last stops in this, they switched things up, made Steven be the last stop because there was a phone call. I can't find your address. And how they were able to manipulate that pretty easily. Okay, so they did 7 searches. Okay, now we're talking a very small trailer home, 14 by 7 trailer home. Okay, they had police in there.
This is where Steven Avery lives.
Yes, and they went in there 7 times, couldn't find anything. All of a sudden, this key just popped out from behind this cabinet, landed on the side, and there it was. So that was the first thing we found. Yeah.
And then tell them what was on the key.
And on the key was like 3 times the amount of DNA that would have been on there from just if you held it and you used it all, and only his DNA, not hers at all. And this is a key
Not hers
she
at
used
all.
every day. So that's one.
And they didn't find any other keys of hers, just that car key.
Or no
So they
blood,
didn't.
no blood, no.
So that was
hair.
Teresa's key?
Yes, to her car. Yes.
They
found
feel like
no-
it was one of those, what do they call it?
spare
Valet
key.
car keys.
Yeah.
That because there was no other keys with the key.
Right.
There was no house key, nothing.
Right. And it only had his DNA on it. Okay.
So guys, I see you guys saying,
Yeah.
we know that making a murder would be a good place
But it
for
was
my
her
dad to
key.
start, but he does not have Netflix right now.
Right.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they according to, first of all, there was absolutely no blood, no hair, no DNA at all in his trailer at all of Teresa,
Of hers.
where she
Yeah.
was supposedly murdered on this bed that they were sitting on while they were looking for whatever, and they found a magical
Yeah, there was
key.
nothing on the bed.
Okay, let me just add this. The officers that were in there searching were not supposed to be there because of conflict of interest, because of the suit. Okay, so they turned it over to the next county, but yet that they were the only ones that found any and all evidence. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is a lot.
Water's pretty muddy, that's for sure.
Okay, so then everything after that was found, okay, they did a flyover of the property. It was 40 acres, like 400,000 cars there, you know? I mean, it was a junkyard.
Yeah.
So they did a flyover twice. They didn't see the vehicle the first time, didn't show it. Second time, well, they went in. This lady got permission to go in and search the property. And out of all them cars, she walked right to Teresa's car that was covered up. And this is a new car covered up with a tarp
20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah. And
all this stuff.
property for 20 minutes.
15 minutes it took her.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. And she was also given a phone and a map.
Oh, yeah.
And this is on Steven Avery's property, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's the whole family lives on that property, and they, as a family, they run a junkyard.
Right. Becca can tell you from here because I got to take the puppy out.
What happened? Oh, where are we
Where
at?
What was that, Adrian?
Where does Brandon Dassey come into the picture?
So
Well, he
what happened
comes
was
in
is
doing
that
the interrogation stuff.
what happened was is that they honestly Brendan was his alibi because the night of the supposed murder, like I said, we don't know exactly what happened to Teresa Halbach because there's not enough evidence real evidence. All the evidence that we do have is corrupted. So we don't even really know how she could have died. So
well, let's get back to the bones that they found for a second. They couldn't tell whether they were hers or not.
well, they did a DNA test on them, and so there's 13 or 14 markers of a person's DNA that indicate, if it's you or not, and less than, I think, 9 of that means that you're a relative, but not necessarily you. So, like, if I took your DNA and then your daughter's DNA, it's not going to be an exact match. There's going to be different markers off. So that's what happened with this, is that they indicated that it was not enough markers to indicate that this was actually Teresa Halbach.
Well,
But
so
could possibly be a relative. I'm sorry?
On what grounds did they convict this guy for her murder?
Well,
Just because her car was found in the key?
well, that's the thing. They said they basically in court was like, this is Teresa Halbach. This was the last stop. This we found.
They found some bones. The guy, a detective, was retired, walking by, and found a bone.
Okay, I want
Yeah,
Mr.
he's saying,
Cher to explain a little bit. Hold on.
Okay.
Yep,
I'm
go ahead.
muting my dad. Remember, he has brain injuries, so we have to kind of break things
That's why I
down
thought it's so
even
much.
smaller for him because he's not going to follow, and it's going to actually
Right.
make him mad if he can't follow. So
Okay.
Okay, sure.
All right, so Adrian, you asked how they convicted him if they couldn't even prove it was Teresa.
Yeah.
They convicted him because they coerced a confession out of Brendan, who was a minor and learning disabled.
Oh, yeah?
That's the sole evidence that they really had, and they convicted both of them on it.
Wow. What kind of a justice system they got down there in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
I don't even know where Wisconsin is. I mean, just a backwater state or what?
It's,
No idea where it is.
West of Minnesota?
but yeah,
it's right next to
Becca and Linda, how many years have you guys been working on this case?
Becca's longer than me, but I've been on it for 4 years every day.
4 years. Becca, how about you?
I've been on it since 2015 when it came out.
Isn't that crazy? Okay, that is.
Like 7 years.
December.
Do you still find things to be like today when you're researching? Are you like, oh my God, like you're still finding
Yeah.
the what the fuck moments in research? Oh my gosh, I bet.
If he listens to some of the interrogation, he'll get a feel for Brendan. Brendan has a learning disability, but it's with language. So too many words. Like if I said, go over and get the cat, he'll bring me the cat. But if I said, go over to get the cat, open the door, then pick up that and bring it back, I've lost him at go get the cat. Too many words.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And Becca's
You got like
what I'm
cerebral
doing.
palsy thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
that
you just
correct, Becca?
bombard him with information, he can't absorb it.
Yeah.
Right.
got
Yeah.
you.
Too
I
many
know what that's
too many sentences, too many anything. Like because I talk to him on the regular, so like if I send him an email and I have too many questions in it, he'll probably it's not that he won't read them, but he'll probably answer like 6 out of 10 questions because the other ones it's just,
They get lost.
Okay.
yeah, they get lost in translation. He's a very smart guy now. He's not an idiot. He just processes things differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I've met lots of handicapped people. I understand what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So they coerced a story out of him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They basically they'd ask him what happened at this time. And when he told them what happened, they say, well, we don't believe you. We think this happened. So
And I'll bet they threatened him too.
No, not really. They just kind of promised him that he's okay. You're okay, Brendan. Think of us as your dad. I have a son too.
yeah,
and
pretty much
meanwhile-
Yeah.
right.
if you tell us the story that we want to hear, you're
Well,
not going to be in any trouble.
We know, Brendan.
Right.
Just tell us. We know, Brendan.
Just
We
tell us
just
what
want to hear.
happened.
Right.
Cool, Dad.
Yeah, he actually thought after he told the story that he was going to get to go back to school. Like that's how little he really understood what was going on.
Yeah.
They took
How
him
old
out
was he
of
at the
school.
time?
He was 15 at the time, right? Was it 15 or 16?
I think he was like
16.
16 with like a 12-year-old man.
He was 16 at the time. And yeah,
They took him out of school without his parents. First, they went to school and interrogated him. And meanwhile, you have to know that when he's in school, he had a tutor next to him so he could be explained in some of his classes. Correct, Becca?
Oh, that's
Right.
sad.
Yeah, he had what do they call an IP or whatever? For special
Special
education.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're trying to say is that his problem isn't necessarily his intelligence, it's just his way of communicating. So he had a person sitting next to him that would help communicate his schoolwork assignments to him in a way that he could better understand.
Yeah, well, whatever his mental condition is, the judge accepted his testimony. Did he testify in court, or did he just sign a statement?
it was
Go ahead,
just a
Becca.
statement because in court, he told the actual version of what happened. He didn't even
Oh, really?
say it in court, but he had said it before.
Yeah, he
So
recanted his statement.
Yeah, so they took his in-court statement as inadmissible and went with his previous statement.
Oh yeah.
See, the thing is that the investigators were basically trying to feed him the story so that way he could repeat it back to them. Then they would go and plant the evidence showing that, see, his story is somewhat correct.
Yeah, because they gave him the only known evidence that only the state knew. They came out and said, okay, Brendan.
This police force in Wisconsin, are they Are they known for this kind of stuff?
Yes.
Bullshit investigation? What you call it that?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm afraid so, yes. This
Yes.
isn't the I say this all
I
the
don't- I
time.
don't know
Brandon is
anything
not the
about
first,
them.
nor is he the last.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I mean, what about the appeal process? How's that gone?
Okay, Becca, that's your part when it comes to Brendan.
So the appeal process is that back in 2010 they started to do a habeas corpus on the confession, which is basically saying that it was unconstitutional the way it was obtained, and it went all the way up to the Supreme Court up until I think 2017. So everyone got to see that go through in Making a Murder Part 2. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court only sees like 30% of cases presented to them, and
3%.
Oh, yeah.
3%.
yeah, 3%. Sorry,
3%.
the American Supreme Court, so they denied seeing his case. So basically, Brendan has exhausted that part of his appeal process. He can go back for other things, but he can't use.
Okay, I'm missing something. Excuse
Okay,
me, I'm missing something here.
Yeah, you are.
Steven Avery's in jail. Sorry?
Yes, yeah. I just want to say with Brendan, there was judges that overturned it and said he should be released, but the state fought it, and then they went up to the 7th court, okay, which is really rare to go up that high. Yep. And then that's where he lost.
I'm missing why Brendan is in jail.
Because
What's the charge Brendan with?
Only his words.
Because in America, if you confess to something, that's all you need.
Yep.
There's
He's in prison
absolutely
for-
no
If you what?
DNA. Confess to it.
Well,
If
what
you
have they
confess-
charged Brendan with? Why is he
He's charged with murder of Teresa.
He's charged with rape and mutilation of a
Rape,
body.
murder, yeah, mutilation of a body. Steven's just
the
convicted of murder.
same girl?
Yes.
They're both convicted of the same murder?
Yep,
Yeah.
with 2 different ways of death.
Well, they're both
Okay.
convicted
That's-
of murdering the same person, but they have different charges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Huh.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Cow. So they're both doing life? Is that what they're doing?
Life without parole for Steven.
Steven
and,
is. Steven, yeah.
And a life with possibility of parole in 2047, is it, Becca?
48, yeah.
48,
For Brendan.
something like that. Yeah.
When he's
So
60.
he'd be like what? Oh, yeah.
He'll be like,
Holy smoke.
Yeah, he'll be like in his 60s. Because right now he's 32.
so Steven's there twice
Oh, boy.
wrongfully convicted, and Brendan's there for his words only.
Yep.
Steven's done 34 years. And Brendan's almost 16, correct?
34 years is plus the 18, yeah. Plus first 18, the first conviction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they both in the same jail?
No.
No.
No, they're
You're
in the
not
same
allowed to be.
state, but different prisons.
I think this
You know
would
what
be
the
a good
kicker is
time to-
that they entrapped Brendan. This is the part that really pisses me off.
Yeah, this is really
They entrapped Brendan to give this false confession, basically, so because Brendan's the one who alibied Steven, because Steven had a bonfire on the night of the 31st, and Brendan came over to help, and there were supposed to be other people that were supposed to come over, but they all flaked. But anyway,
Oh, from Utah.
so Brendan was the only one that
Yeah.
could verify where Steven was. So that's why Brendan is also included in this. So, but they got this confession out of this innocent 16-year-old kid, throw him in prison for life, and then they didn't even use his confession during Steven's trial.
right.
They
Steven
didn't
was
do what
convicted
they did
first.
Yeah, they didn't need to do what they did to Brendan to get Steven in prison if they didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't need to, but they wanted an alibi they wanted to make sure that all their bases were covered.
Right.
So that's the part that really pisses me off, that they didn't even have to do what they did. Well, they didn't have to do it at all. Like, you don't have to do that, but
Right. But they convicted
You
Steven
guys have been in
first.
jail since 1985?
No, he got out for
Steven-
2 years. He was convicted again in 2006.
2006. Okay.
Yes.
For Teresa.
Yep.
Yeah, so when he got out for the rape charges that he didn't do and DNA proved he didn't do it, it wasn't long after they pinned when he
Hey, Jamie.
when he won the millions of dollars, all of a sudden there's a murder that he's getting pinned on.
2 years later.
2 years later, right when it was right when he was supposed to be getting the millions of dollars.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay.
and if
Day
I'm not
before.
mistaken, it was a lot. It was millions, Dad, millions. He won millions of dollars, and he was about to get the payout, and then boom, Teresa goes missing, and they find little bits and pieces that could be hers, like Becca was explaining the DNA, but there's no.
Yeah.
They're saying he took Teresa Halbach and burnt her to a crisp, where there's no DNA left, basically, in just a little barrel. That he could basically cremate a body
This
in
was
just
the
in a
biggest
barrel.
bone that there was.
In a
Okay, well,
bonfire.
The biggest
if
bone.
they're saying things like that in court, then there must be some evidence of it.
They found bones, yes. They did find bones, but they
And
were
they found
cremated.
they found a barrel.
Well, the
They
barrel
found a
was
barrel.
yeah.
No.
They found his barrel had a fire, and
phone.
they found little bits of bone in it.
Human bone.
Well, what they're saying is human bones, but the problem with Wisconsin, I've actually been fairly close. So your grandkids' step
Jamie.
grandma was pulled over. I don't remember when this was. I want to say it was 2000 and around the same time he got reconvicted. The Wisconsin police were actually pulling over at night women driving home alone and raping them. And
Police force.
yep, yes, Wisconsin police were doing that. And the girls' step grandma back in 2006, 2007, which is around the time Steven actually got resentenced, if I'm not mistaken. She actually got pulled over, and she thought she was about to be one of the rape victims, but they found she had her 2 boys sleeping in the back seat. And all of a sudden they said, oh, well, we got another call. And they just went in their car and drove off. They didn't give her no ticket. They didn't do anything. Yeah. So she really, really thinks that she was about to be a victim of one of those.
Yeah, let's not get
things.
confused. So they're not the same cops. They're just that dirty in Wisconsin.
And you guys you must have heard about that, Linda.
Linda, yes, I was scared to be pulled over, I'll tell you. But
Yeah,
it wasn't the
and-
same cops. But it is,
I was
that's how
gonna
dirty
say
they are.
that
It's
there's
not the
somebody
same
else-
cops, but
Not the
Right.
same cops, but it's still Wisconsin cops. Wisconsin is very corrupt, Dad, like most.
just show the corruption. They're
Like
very,
most-
very corrupt.
Yeah, like most establishments, I call them, have corruption in it.
Well, there's absolutely no perfect systems. I know that.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really hard to take all of
What?
this in because there's just so much.
Well, that's why we're gonna break it up.
Right.
Well, he's finding the interview right now
Okay.
for Brandon Dassey.
Yeah, that's kind of
Well,
like a real quick one, and we might have made a few mistakes, like dates, whatever. But
Oh
Right.
yeah.
basically
well-
that's it.
Hey, Jamie.
When we go there, I'm gonna have him all set up. I'm gonna get him all set up nice with Netflix so he can watch the documentary so that he knows what he's doing. We'll get him all set up when we go see him this summer, Linda.
Yeah. Then we'll
That's
talk. Then
cool.
you'll really know.
Yeah, we'll get you all set up. We're gonna get you hooked up with Netflix so that we can tell you what documentaries to watch. We'll get you all set up, Dad. Don't worry.
Yep. There's Jamie
Well,
Hart.
I
He's in there. Hey, Jamie.
I am going to give you the bill so you don't have to worry about it. I'm going to pay for it.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
such a good daughter.
I'm supposed to accept money from my daughter.
YouTube, well,
YouTube.
no, people have been actually sending super chats, it's called. So once a month I get paid from YouTube. And when people, they get to leave little notes. And one lady the other day when you were on sent $50 and said for your dad, to send it to your dad. So next month when I get paid, you have a couple people sent you some money. So we're going to make sure you get that as a gift.
Oh my God. God bless you all.
And we got Jayis4Justice is sending you out a shirt and some goodies, and we got people
Ooh,
we
nice.
opened a PO box so that we don't have to give people our real addresses, and we have a couple people messaged and said they were sending you some goodies, Dad. So we're gonna, when we get them, we'll mail them out to you.
Holy cow.
I told
So
Dad
now
last
it's
night, I'm
like-
like, I'm gonna do so good on my podcast so that like Mark can quit and start helping with this shit, and then we can take care of Dad. We take care of Pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to get, Linda's getting everything together, Dad, so that she's gonna come here and then we'll all come and see you this summer.
You're kidding.
Oh,
No,
Really?
it's real life.
Real life, real happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, like this. I can't wait.
Me too.
You're making my life really interesting. Thank you.
If we can make your life interesting with murder, mayhem, and mutilation, you're in the right crowd.
I always told you guys part of why I like to do this was because I do not think he'll be like, I take the charges, whatever. I don't think he should have had some of his charges. So
What?
Hey Charm.
Hey, Charm. I'm nice to see you here, Jamie Hart. He's from our community, Making a Murderer, and he used to have the tagline SWH 582, and that was Teresa's license plate.
We missed oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
We missed what was I gonna say now? I don't even know. Oh,
Hey, I need to ask a question.
yeah.
How long after Teresa went missing, how long before Steven was convicted?
He was big. Well, I guess when they found the car, that was the end of it. But they did bring him in on a gun charge. It wasn't his. He wasn't supposed to have a gun. They
well, he was
reinstated that.
convicted. He was convicted like a year later.
Yeah,
in
you're
court.
right.
Not right now, Robin. That can't happen.
A year after Teresa went missing. Okay.
No. Well, he was.
A year after
in
he was
prison.
arrested.
He was in. He was in jail right away, like 2 weeks.
Okay, I think
Oh yeah.
Mark has we can play the interrogation. So, Dad, someone just sent a $20 super sticker for Papa Cher, Adrian. So what really happens is when they send us the super stickers, YouTube keeps 55% and we get the other 45%. So you'll get half of what they send. So
That's a lot.
So
Thank you very much.
next month when
That's
YouTube
fine.
pays me, we'll be sending you a nice gift. A
Holy
nice
cow.
just call it a gift from your daughter or whatever you have to say, because my dad's on disability, so he can only accept gifts.
Somebody asked in the chat earlier if we could explain our background with this case.
Well,
Yeah, why don't you do that
Linda?
quick, because we got the
I watched the show.
well,
I watched it for like 2 months straight every day. Every day I watched Making a Murderer, and I could not believe it that I lived in Minnesota and that this poor boy named Brandon Dassey was coerced by these cops. And I just had to get into it. I couldn't turn my eyes away. That was it.
Seth, you do so much already, but you know you can, and I'll make sure he gets it.
And Becca, your story?
I watched it when it came out, 2015, December 2015. And I've been involved in it since then. I wrote Brendan a letter and January 2016, and he wrote me back that February. So I've been in contact with Brendan since then, and we're good.
Okay. How's he doing?
Yeah, he's doing really good.
How's his spirit?
He's so ridiculously positive. It's almost like sickening how happy and positive this guy is. He always looks on the bright side of things. Prison did not stomp his soul out, that's for sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, people with personalities like that, prison won't mess them up too bad, but as long as he's not being,
No.
I hope he's not in a violent prison like that. I don't know what the jails are like down there.
There's a lot of people.
A
lot of people take care of Brendan.
I say this often with him, but he's been very, I don't want to say blessed in his situation, but he has been very blessed in the fact that he has come across nothing bad that you would think that he would come across in prison.
Right.
So God's really been looking out for him.
And everybody knows he's innocent there.
He's got faith then? He's got faith?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. That trumps everything. That beats everything.
Like I said, he's positive. He always talks to me about when he gets out, what he's gonna do, and he truly believes. I mean, and like what Linda said, everyone that's ever met him, all believe that he's innocent, from the guards to the inmates, except for politicians and shit like that.
For the important people.
And politicians kind of use him.
Well, he's a political prisoner as far as I'm concerned now, because they consider it political suicide to sign the clemency.
Right.
Was anybody standing up to help this kid? Like any lawyers out there?
Yeah.
You would not believe the people. 250 what are they called? Omnibus filings, which means they stood, professionals in the fields.
He's got a lot of people trying to back him, but Dad, I don't think they'll let him out, because if they let him out, they have to admit they fucked up again, and they're gonna pay out millions and millions and millions of dollars again. And and yes, you guys can share the other links, and I will make sure that Papa Cher gets whatever gifts you want him to have. Are we ready? Let's pull up the interrogation for Pops, because that's a long interrogation, so let's try and get through a chunk of that. And Dad, when you want us to pause to have Becca or Linda or Mark answer anything in there, just holler and we'll pause it so that you can talk.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Too bad he couldn't see it.
Good. Brendan, here you go.
I'm just going to shut this audio off, okay? Because there's audio in the room here, just so you know. Okay. I just wanted to just go over this real quick again.
Okay, really quick, Dad. I just wanted you to know before we forget. My friend Seth sent you $20 also.
Well, thank you very much, Seth.
Okay, back to the interrogation.
Can you remember these rights, your Miranda rights that I read you? You still want to talk to us?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure of that.
Brendan, I want you to relax, okay? A little more comfortable here and stuff. And what we like to do, you had a couple days since we last talked now, which was Monday, and you had a chance to reflect and breathe, I imagine. And we
the only one?
I got more.
Okay.
And I kind of call it's a sense debriefing in a way, just letting you talk to us a little. And we've had also a chance for 2 days now to look at what you said and listen to tapes a little and stuff like that. And, you know, we look at that and we say, well, you know, Brendan honestly gave us this information, that information. Maybe I'll call them dots or whatever. And some of the dots, when we look at it, say, well,
Can we pause real quick?
matching up here, just a little tightening up or something. We feel that maybe, I think Mark and I both feel that maybe there's some more that you could tell us that you may have held back.
What's up, Becca?
Hey, I just wanted to also clarify something. What he's mentioning right now is Brendan was interrogated a few times before this point, and they asked him, you know, questions. So what they're basically is trying to, during the first couple interrogations that they gave him, they fed him information, and so during this one, we're gonna see him kind of clarify what information they gave him, and kind of really put together their official story. So that's why he's saying what he's saying now. I'm sorry, I just didn't know if everyone knew that he's been interrogated like 2 or 3 times before this.
I can hear the police officer talking, but I can't hear Brendan.
He's very silent. He's basically
Okay.
just, yeah, he's just saying yeah, stuff like that.
Okay.
So.
And these are like homicide detectives or just regular
Yes.
state troopers? Who are they?
They're homicide detectives, Detective Mark Wiegert and Detective Tom Fassbender. And they're special I think they're special detectives. Like they were sent in particularly for this case.
Because it's a sexual assault case?
I think because they really wanted, because it was Steven Avery.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's because they were trained in the recording and interrogation.
Yeah, they were dealing with the Steven Avery case, and they wanted to make this stick. So they got the best of the best in the state.
These aren't the same cops that accused him of the first rape that he got overturned.
No, these
Okay.
aren't the same from the first time. No.
Okay. Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Hey, Dan's life. Sorry, but anyway,
You that Mark and I are both.
if you guys want to continue.
We're on your side, and you did tell us yourself that one of the reasons you hadn't come forward yet was because you were afraid, you're scared, and one of the reasons you were scared was that you would be implicated in this, or people would say that you helped or did this. Okay, and that you might get arrested and stuff like that. Okay, and we understand that. One of the best ways to prove to us, or more importantly, you know, the courts and stuff, is that you tell the whole truth. Don't leave anything out. Don't make anything up because you're trying to cover something up a little. And even if those statements are against your own interest, you know what I mean? That makes you, it might make you look a little bad, or make you look like you were more involved than you want to be looked at. It's hard to do, but it's good from that vantage point to say, hey, there's no doubt you're telling the truth, because you've now given the whole story. You've even given points where it didn't look real good for you either. And I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. And that's why we kind of came here, to let you talk a little, maybe get some stuff off your mind or chest if you need to, and then to tell us the whole truth, to take us through this whole thing that happened on Monday, not leaving anything out, not adding anything in, because Mark and I looked at the tapes, looked at the notes, and it's real obvious there's some places where some things were left out, or maybe changed just a bit to maybe looking at yourself to protect yourself a little. From what I'm seeing, even if I fill those in, I'm thinking you're all right. Okay, you don't have to worry about things. we're there for you. And we know what Steven did, and we know kind of what happened to you and what he did. We just need to hear the whole story from you. As soon as we get that, we're comfortable with that. I think you're going to be a lot more comfortable with that. It's going to be a lot easier on you down the road. If this goes to trial and stuff like that, we need to know that because it's probably going to come out. Think of Steven for a second. Steven is already starting to say some things, and eventually he's going to potentially lay some crap on you and try and make it look like you are the bad person here. And we don't want that. We want everything out front so we can say, yeah, we knew that, Steven. He told us that. You get my drift? I don't know if Mark has something, so I'm just going to give you an opportunity to talk to us now and kind of fill in those gaps for us.
Honesty here, Brandon, is the thing that's going to help you. Okay, no matter what you did, we can work through that. Okay, we can't make any promises, but we'll stand behind you no matter what you did. Okay, because you're being the good guy here. You're the one that's saying, you know what, maybe I made some mistakes, but here's what I did. The other guy involved in this doesn't want to help himself. All he wants to do is blame everybody else. Okay, and by you talking with us, it's helping you. Okay, because the honest person is the one that's going to get a better deal out of everything. You know how that works. Mm-hmm. You know, honesty is the only thing that'll set you free, right? And we know, like Tom said, we know we reviewed those tapes. We know there's some things you left out, and we know there's some things that maybe weren't quite correct that you told us. Okay, we've been investigating this a long time. We pretty much know everything. That's why we're talking to you again today. We really need you to be honest this time with everything. Okay, if in fact you did some things which we believe some things may have happened that you didn't want to tell us about, it's okay. As long as you be honest with us, it's okay. If you lie about it, that's going to be problems. Okay, does that sound fair? Mm-hmm. All right. Should we just go through that whole day again on the 31st, or how do you want to do it?
We can do that. I'd give him a chance to just talk to us. And
sure.
If he wants to go through the whole day, if he wants to fill in the pieces, that's up to Brendan right now.
What would you rather do?
You just want to talk to us and tell us, starting with that day and how you actually came to know what happened and stuff. Because now we know you were in the garage and stuff, apparently cleaning up and stuff. So tell us about that.
Well, he was working on his car and he did something wrong, and then he poked a hole in something, and then it started leaking. And then later on, because I was helping him before I went over there a little bit,
I know.
and later on I helped him move the car out of there and cleaned it up. And I went back home, and then later on I got a call from him, and he wanted me to come over.
Let's go back a little bit, okay? When did you first go over by Steve?
At 9 o'clock.
You said you were over in the garage helping him.
Yeah.
When was that?
6:30.
Okay. So let's go back, okay? Let's go back to around that time. You get home off the bus at about 3:45.
Yeah.
And what do? Now you got to be honest here.
I walked on the road and I go into my house.
Okay.
And
what did you see at that time?
That she was talking, or her car was over there.
Where was her car?
On the other side, where you drove by our house,
mm-hmm.
where you turned there, it was on the other side of the road there, by the trees.
And you just said something. You said she was talking, and then you stopped. Now, remember, this is very important because we already know what happened that day, okay? Let's just be honest here, okay, Brendan?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get this out.
Use your memory, not what Steven told you, not what anyone else told you. Be honest, because we're gonna be able to tell when you're not being honest. I'm telling you that right now. So you're walking down the road. Let's pick it up again, okay?
I seen him talking to her on his porch and that, and I seen her Jeep there, and I walked in the house.
So she's standing, meaning she is Teresa?
Mm-hmm.
Did you recognize her?
Not at first.
You just knew it later on when this all came out?
Yeah.
So she's standing on his porch.
Mm-hmm.
Did Blaine see that?
I don't think.
And you're sure you saw that? You sure it wasn't another time or anything like that? It was Halloween this last year. On the front porch area.
Yeah.
Do you remember what she was wearing? I know it's a long time ago. Don't guess. If you remember, you can say it.
I don't remember.
Do you remember how he was dressed?
I think he white shirt with like red shorts or something like that.
Okay. Anytime you don't remember, you say that, all right?
Yeah, don't make anything up. You don't know it. You don't know it.
So then, what happened? And you saw her and him on the porch, and they were what?
They were talking.
And then what did you do?
I walked in my house.
And they were just talking? Were they doing anything else? Were they screaming, fighting, talking, pushing, anything?
Just talking.
Okay. You went in your house, and this is about 3:45.
Mm-hmm.
Then what'd you do in your house? Be honest, because we don't have to go through this 8 times.
I went into my room, and because my mom told me I had to clean my room, I cleaned it a little bit, and I played PlayStation 2 for a little bit. It was about like 5 o'clock, and my brother was on the phone with his friend.
Blaine?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was talking about going trick-or-treating with him, and that Jason will pick him up at like 7.
And then?
I ate, and I went into the living room, and I was eating in the living room and watching TV.
Then what'd you see?
Honest.
What?
Then what happened?
Well, then he called and said that he wanted help on his car.
Okay. Did he call you or did he come over?
He called me.
What, on your cell phone or on
the house phone?
He calls your house phone.
Yeah.
And this is about what time now?
About 6:30.
Okay. And what does he say to you?
He says, "Do you want to help me with to fix the car?" Because he said that if I would help him on his cars, he would help me find a car.
Okay.
And so I did, and then that's when he cut something, and then it was leaking on the floor.
Let's stop right there. So he calls you and asks you for help to fix a car,
Mm-hmm.
and you go over to his house.
Mm-hmm.
And where do you go?
Into the garage.
And what's in the garage?
His Monty.
His Monty. Where's that Suzuki?
On the side.
Is the big garage door open?
Mm-hmm.
So you walk in there and he said, and this is Halloween. Okay. And what's he doing?
He's working on his Monty.
What about the fire?
Do you mean if it was started or something? No, it wasn't.
Okay. We're not going to go any further in this because we need to get the truth out now. We know the fire was going. We know that he had already had his altercation with Teresa. We don't believe there's a Monty in there. I talked to you the other night, and you said nothing about Monty. You said nothing about something getting punctured and leaking out. We talked about cleaning something up in that garage. You told me that you thought, thinking back now that it was blood, it was red in color. You're at your house, 6:30. I'll go that far with you. It might even been earlier. What's going on? Let's take it through honestly now.
Come on, Brandon, be honest. I told you before, that's the only thing that's going to help you here. We already know what happened. Okay?
If we don't get honesty here, I'm your friend right now. But I gotta believe in you. And if I don't believe in you, I can't go to bat for you. Okay? You're nodding. Tell us what happened.
Your mom said you'd be honest with us.
And she's behind you 100% no matter what happens here.
That's what she said. Because she thinks you know more too.
We're in your corner.
We already know what happened. Now tell us exactly. Don't lie.
We can't say it for you, Brandon, okay?
Well, that morning he said that if he wanted me to come over like at 6:30, and he had the fire started because he wanted to burn some tires, and so he had it started, and the Jeep was still in there.
Whose Jeep?
The Suzuki.
It was still in where?
In the garage.
So Monty's not in there.
Okay.
Whose car was in the garage? Tell me the truth.
We already know. Just tell us. It's okay.
The truth. It's so easy to tell the truth. It's hard to make things up.
Her Jeep.
That's right.
Her Jeep was in the garage, wasn't it?
And you tell me if I'm wrong. When you were at the house, you just went over here because you had talked about it in the morning. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
There was no call from Steven asking you to come over, was there? And you went over. Was the big door closed?
Mm-mm.
You're sure about that?
Yeah.
So the big door is open and her truck is in there when you get over there?
Yeah.
By her truck, who are we talking about?
Well, if I wanted to come over later.
No, whose truck
Whose
was
truck?
in there?
Or the truck.
Yeah.
Her Jeep.
Who's her?
Teresa's.
Okay, and that Jeep is a what? Do you remember?
Like what color?
Color or make?
Green. Like a greenish blue.
Okay.
Is it drove in or is it backed into the garage?
It's backed in.
Now, let's be honest. What did he tell you? What did he show
What did you see and what did he tell you?
He showed me the knife and rope.
Where was she? Come on, we know this already. Be honest.
In the back of the Jeep.
She was in the back of the Jeep. Was she alive or dead at that time?
Dead.
Are you sure? Okay. What did you see in the back? I know this is hard, but what did you see in the back of the Jeep?
That she was laying there with like a small blanket over her.
Do you remember where her head was?
Not really.
Did she have clothes on?
Yeah.
She was clothed.
Yeah.
Was she tied up already? Or did you help him do that?
She was tied up already.
Where? Tell me how she was tied up.
Like the rope was right here around her body.
Are you sure?
Did Steve have any blood on him at that time?
On his finger.
What about on his body, on his clothes?
Not that I know of.
Where did you see blood?
Like right here.
Where else in the garage?
On the floor.
A lot.
Like drips.
Where was it dripping from?
I don't know.
What did he tell you he did to her?
That he stabbed her.
A Let's stop there for a second now, okay? I want to back up just a bit. I didn't mean to interrupt that thing, but what time actually did you get over there now? About.
Like 6:45.
So it's still about that same time, 6:47. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you really see those two talking on the porch?
Yeah.
You did. You're 100% on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did she get in the back of the Jeep? Tell us that.
I don't know.
Did you help him?
No.
Let's be honest, you're Brandon. If you helped him, it's okay. Because he was telling you to do it. You didn't do it on your own.
I didn't touch her.
So you get over into the garage, and the garage door's open, and her truck's in the garage, right?
Yeah.
And what does he say to you?
Think about it and be honest.
It's okay. What does he say to you?
That's when he threatened me that if I would say anything, he like trusted me or something.
Why did he have you come over there? Did he need help with something? Remember, we already know, but we need to hear it from you. Why did he have you come over there? He needed help, didn't he? What did he need help with? Go ahead and tell us.
Probably to get rid of the body.
So what Mark's saying is, did he call you or did he come to the door and say, Brandon, I need, what do you do?
He came over.
Tell us what he told or asked you to do.
He said, hey, Brandon, you want to help me do something?
And keep going.
And I said, for what? And he's like, for something to do in my garage.
Okay, go on.
And I said, sure. And then later I came over there and
What time did he come to your house?
about I can't remember.
Okay, but he comes to your house and asks you if you want to do something, help him with something.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that again.
That he wanted me to come over there and help him move something.
Okay. Did he tell you what?
No.
Did you go over right away?
No, I waited 10 minutes.
Okay, so then you walk over and the garage door is open.
Yeah.
And what do you see again?
Her Jeep.
Okay.
And you're sure the big garage door is open? You didn't go in the little door?
No.
So you see her Jeep, and then what happens? Does he what?
He opens the back door
Okay, and what does he say?
and told me to help him.
Don't you ask him a question? Who is this, or what?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what he said.
He said that it's a girl that he was kind of peed off at.
Did he say who it was?
Teresa Halbach.
Why was he peed off at her?
I don't know.
I think he probably told you. So just be honest. We already know.
He's obviously not holding anything back from you. He had you come over to see this.
We already
He
know.
used you for this. So bring us into the garage again. You mentioned earlier that's when he threatened you. Tell us that.
That he threatened me that if I would say anything, that he would stab me like he did to her, and that he was pissed off at her because of he wanted to get his blazer in the thing.
Are you following everything all right so far?
Yeah. I'm having trouble hearing some of it, but I'm getting the basics.
Well, here comes the best part.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, honey.
That, like, the last time she was there, and he couldn't.
Okay, so he opens the back door of her truck and tell me what you see.
Her body laying there.
What could you see of her?
Truth now. As hard as it is, tell us the truth.
Her head, her body, her feet.
So she was not covered up? No, I didn't think so. See, we already knew that.
Did she have clothes on? To be honest. If she did, she did. If she didn't, she did.
Sort of.
Okay, what'd she have on?
Like a white t-shirt and that. Pants.
What do you mean, sort of? Either she had clothes on or she didn't. It's what, some of it on and some of it off? What?
It was like ripped.
It was ripped? Where was it ripped?
Like right here.
Was it a t-shirt or a button-up shirt or what kind of shirt?
A button-up one.
What color?
Like a black one.
Okay, before you just said there was a white t-shirt. She had that on too?
Mm-hmm.
Underneath that shirt?
Yeah.
Okay. And in the other interview you said it was blue. Do you remember what color it was? If you don't remember, say you don't remember.
I don't remember.
So he threatens you, and what does he say to you?
That to help him get rid of the body.
Okay.
Before you mentioned trust, that he said something about trust. Tell us about that. What did he say about that?
That he really likes me much, and that he trusts me, that I won't say none.
So what happens next?
That he told me to grab her feet, so I did. And so he took her out in the back and put her in the fire pit.
Was the fire burning already?
Yeah.
Tell us, did you carry her out there? Did you use something to get her back there?
Well, we lifted her out of the Jeep and put her on like a wheel thing.
What a wheel thing, what's that?
Like the things where you get under the car.
A creeper?
Yeah.
And is that creeper always kept in his garage?
Well, he was borrowing it from the yard or something like that.
What's that creeper say on it? Do you remember? What color is it?
Like black and red.
Black and red, okay. So you guys lift her out of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And you got which part of her again?
Her feet.
And what is Steve carrying?
Her head and shoulders.
And you put her on the creeper?
Yeah.
Does she have shoes on?
No.
Did you take her clothes off then?
Mm-mm.
Was she tied up?
Yeah.
Describe that again, how she was tied up. And again, make it easy on yourself and just tell us the truth the first time.
The hard part's over.
That it was like wrapped around her like 3-4 times.
Wrapped around where? Show us where. On your body.
Right here.
Okay. What about her feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
They were tied up.
What were they tied up with?
Rope.
What kind of rope?
Like, oh, like that.
Something you'd use for clothesline? That
Yeah.
type of thing? What color was it?
Like white and blue.
What about her hands?
I don't remember.
Where did you see injuries on her?
Her stomach.
Her stomach? What did it look like?
Like she was stabbed.
I don't necessarily, I'm going to tell you, I don't know what it looks like when someone's stabbed. Okay, you got to talk to someone that doesn't realize this. Tell us what you saw.
Like it was all bleeding. That.
Show me where, and I knew that would be.
Like right here.
How much blood? Was that, show me on you the extent of the stain or the blood that you saw.
Like right there.
That whole area, was it pretty wet yet or dry?
Like damp.
Damn. Could you see flesh or just the shirt?
A little bit of flesh.
How many times did he say he stabbed her?
Once.
What else did he do to her? We already know, to be honest.
We've got enough of her to know some things that happened to her. So tell us the truth.
What else did he do to her?
Raped her.
Did he tell you that?
Tell us about that. And where he did it.
I don't know where he did it, but
know what's happened to his wife. And
what did he say he did in his words? What did he tell you? You know, you can swear, you can use any language you want. Tell us exactly what he told you to do.
he had for clothes, and she refused, and she tried to get away, but he was too strong for her, and he did it.
In what?
What did he say?
This is a kid that always was smart, methodical, able to cover his tracks, and for his victims, he doesn't just.
Are you? If you're sure, that's okay.
Yeah.
And where did that happen?
I don't know.
And she tried to get away, but he was too strong.
Yeah.
And then what did he do to her?
Well, after he was done, that's when he put her back in the Jeep in the back.
Was she dead then yet or not?
Brandon, were you there when this happened?
No.
Was she dead there then or not?
Yeah.
How do you know that? I have a feeling I know how you know that.
We already know, Brandon. We already know. Come on, be honest with us. Be honest with us. We already know it's okay. We're going to help you through this, all right? Tell us. How do you know that?
I was outside riding my bike.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear it.
What could you hear?
Screaming.
Okay. Was the door closed at that time?
Mm-hmm.
Did he know you were out there?
No.
What was the screaming like? What was she saying?
Like, help me.
Did you know what was going on?
No.
What did you do?
Well, I was going up to the driveway and get the mail.
What time was that?
About 4:30.
Is it light out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you go out on your bike and you hear screaming coming from where?
His house.
Whose house?
Steven's.
The house or the garage?
The house.
From the house.
All right. Then what do?
I just went to go get the mail and I went in the house.
So you go get the mail, you go in the house, and then what?
Sat down and watched TV.
Okay, Brandon, you're doing a good job. Let's go back to when you go outside to get your bike, and you're gonna go get the mail. You said you heard screaming. Any more? Tell us more about what you heard. You said, "Help me." Was it female screaming?
Yeah.
What else did you hear her say, if anything?
That's all I heard.
And is her vehicle still there?
Yeah.
Where is the vehicle that time?
By the big trees.
Did that scare you when you heard that screaming?
Sort of.
Did you go over to his house then?
Mm-mm.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And you said you rode your bike down to get the mail. You
Yeah.
came back, and then what'd you do? Honestly. You went over to his house?
No.
What'd you do?
I went to our garage and put the bike away.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian was in there working on his car.
Yep.
I asked him if he wants any help, and he said no. That if he wanted help, he would come in and get me or something. So I went in the house and I sat down.
Did Brian hear the screaming too?
No, he had the radio going.
Okay. Did you tell Brian?
No.
Okay, you went in the house and sat down. And then?
I waited and then I watched TV for a little bit. And my mom came home
And she comes home at about what time?
about 4:35.
Okay.
And then what happens?
She asked me if anybody got the mail. I'm like, yeah, I did. And watched TV more, and he came over and asked if he wanted help,
He came over and asked you what?
if I could help him move something.
Okay, let's, to this point now, I think we're pretty close to the truth. How close are we, Brendan?
Pretty close.
Okay, then give us the little parts that we don't have yet up to that point. Steven, there's something in there we're missing. You heard her. I have a feeling he.
We're paused now, right?
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah. I was gonna say if anybody has any questions, and I was,
There's, I'm sure, a lot of questions. Where do you start, right?
At this point,
Here's a person who's brutally assaulting prostitutes
This poor kid.
over a very short period of time. There's also
So also a lot of people are asking, where's the lawyer, where's his parents? So basically what happened was they pulled Brendan directly out of school. Barb was in a she was dealing with a divorce. So she was in court dealing with her divorce when they pulled him from school. They get him to the station. By the time she's out of court, she's basically running around the area trying to find him. They sent her to like 3 different police stations before she finally ends up at this one. I'm sorry?
How old was Brandon? How old was Brandon while he's been interrogated?
16 years old. He just turned 16.
16?
Yeah, he's literally like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks from being 16 years old.
Okay, is that adult in Wisconsin? Or is that
No.
juvenile?
It's still a juvenile.
But it's legal.
It's legal. So they pull him out of school. They drive him to the police station. Barb's in court for another thing. By the time she gets out, she's trying to find him. She drives to different places trying to get to him. Finally, she shows up here, and then they tell her, and this is halfway through the interrogation, so she's not even in the building right now. But halfway through, they tell her, get a cup of coffee, sit down. You don't want to go in there. He's telling a really gruesome story. Yeah. And so she's, she's like, oh, okay. Because she, at this point, she doesn't believe that they think he's just being questioned. But yeah, so during this part that we're seeing, she's not even in the building. She doesn't even know where he's at.
Right. And then every
so
time
they picked him up without any permission from his parents.
Right. Yep. Every time they talk to him.
I don't know if they're allowed to do that. The laws in some states are different. I don't know what the laws are in that state.
Well,
they usually have to, if you're a juvenile, you have to have a parent with you while you're being questioned, I believe. I don't know if that's the truth in every state.
So in America, you have your Miranda rights, and they read you your Miranda rights. And part of it is you have the right to remain silent. You have the right to ask for a lawyer. Yeah. So they read Brendan's Miranda rights. Now, he does not understand. He doesn't understand them. It's a lot because they're rambling him off. He doesn't catch it all. So he denies his right to a lawyer or having a parent with him. So
probably doesn't even know what a lawyer is for.
Oh, that's a whole different story. His lawyers in court were really, the kid was doomed.
Different. Yeah. So, so that's why there isn't a lawyer with him, is because he denied his right to have a lawyer with him. They don't, when he walks in, as you guys heard, they wanted clarification for things that he already said and other interviews and stuff like that. Plus they wanted him to admit some more. They don't say we think you did something, you need to tell us more. They just are like, we're here to help you, we just need some more answers. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They don't say we think you're a suspect here. We think you did something with your uncle. No, they start off with, we're here to help you, Brendan, and we just need some clarification to some of the stuff you've already told us, and some things just aren't adding up. So if you can just tell us again, and we'll write it all down, and then we'll send you off.
This cop is actually putting words in the kid's mouth, so I can hear it. Everything he says.
Yes.
He asked if the girl was tied up, and Brendan says, "Yeah." He says, "Well, were her hands tied or feet tied?"
And
were her feet tied too? Yeah. And he keeps saying, "Be honest, be honest." Right?
And the bad thing is that he's fidgeting. You can't see him, but he's fidgeting. He's grabbing his fingers like he's pulling taffy. He's very, very nervous. Yeah. And the cop is touching his knee. Like touching his knee. It's okay, Brendan.
His hand is on his knee.
Yeah. And there's 2 cops in the room with him, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. They're playing a little bit of good cop, bad cop. I can hear that too.
He also is never looking up. He's biting his fingers and he never looks up.
They're doing it very gently.
I was just saying in the chat, Brendan is a fidgeter when he gets nervous. Like even to this day, when he gets really nervous, he'll bite his nails and he'll play with his fingers and stuff. So that's why when you see him doing this in the video, you know he's stressed out to the max.
And he never looks at him.
He's 16 in the video. Sorry, I was at.
Brandon was saying 6:30, and the cop kept saying, "Well, you sure it wasn't 9:30?"
Mm-hmm.
He did that 3 times.
He did that.
So
yeah, he does that often.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just trying to make sure he gets it straight.
Now, there's a few people in the chat asking. There's a few people in the chat asking, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clarify. Our channel, Brendan Talks, is 100% Brendan's channel. He tells us, you know, what we should do or how we should do it, or he has complete control. He even gave the name to it, Brendan Talks. His dad is on with us every Friday, and we do a little update, and it's very positive oriented stuff that we try to do. His mom is also, his mom is also very supportive of the channel and also joins in, but she works, and she also, funny enough, the time that we usually do Brendan Talks is the time that Brendan usually calls her, so she usually misses it because she's waiting for his call, or you know, she's got her grandkids over, whatever. But she's also, our channel is very 100% pro Brendan's family, because that's how Brendan wants it, and we support his family.
Yeah, we tell him where to write to him, what be Brendan Brave, because Becca has a campaign going, so we tell like what that's going to be like, give him positive, you know, affirmations, or send him pictures, and then Becca copies all of them and sends them to Brendan. He's involved in trivia questions and games and contests. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, our channel is very positive. We try to, basically, we're trying to brighten up his days and keep him positive and stuff like that.
In here.
And so, but you know, I see a lot of people.
Becca, they got it going again.
What?
They're playing it again.
Oh.
That he knew.
It's okay, Brad. We already know.
I think he went over to his house. Maybe he asked him to get his mail. Something in here is missing.
Well, when I got the mail,
it's very low. Can't hear it.
With his name on it.
Okay, we're going. What did you do?
I knocked on the door.
I can't hear it.
Answered it.
Yeah, and then what?
I gave it to him and then I left.
Come on now. You just heard screaming over there.
You're making this hard on us and yourself.
Be honest. You went inside, didn't you?
Yeah.
You went in the trailer?
Mm-hmm.
You're nodding.
Did he invite you in?
They can't hear it, Cher. They
she?
Can't hear it out there. Nobody can hear it.
In his room.
Okay. Did you go back there and look?
No.
To this point now, I think we're pretty close to the truth. How close are we, Brandon?
Pretty close.
Okay, then give us the little parts that we don't have yet up to that point. Steven, there's something in there we're missing. You heard her. I a feeling he saw you, you saw him, something in here that we're missing. Because, we're not idiots. Saying.
All right. So are you guys writing to him in jail?
Yeah. We write to him. We got supporters writing to him. We tell him. Yes, he does. And he calls his supporters, some of them, and talks to him. Becca talks to him all the time and emails him.
I wonder if I could have his mailing address.
Yeah, sure. We'd be happy to give it to you. I don't know what they're playing.
There we go.
Yeah, we can give it to you. We'll give it to Cher, and they can give it to you. For sure. I'll write it to you, but it takes a long time for my letters to get to you, but I can put it in there.
That's cool. I spent a lot of time inside, and it's really a wonderful thing when you get mail from people.
He really has.
It used to be 3 days a week with mail call in the pen where I was. And, you can see people's face brighten up when they knew they had something.
Yeah,
it didn't really have to be anything important, just
right.
Something,
That's wonderful.
I wouldn't mind writing to this guy.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
What age is he right now?
What?
What age is he right now?
He's 33.
33. Okay.
16 years.
He's 32.
Oh, 32. Sorry, Becca. See, you got to ask Becca that kind of thing.
32? All right.
Yeah, he's 32.
Yeah, we're going to try and get you up on panel with his dad and everything, Dad.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
Sorry?
We're going to have you talk with Brandon's dad at some point.
Okay. Tonight?
No, not tonight. No, we're about done. We've been doing this for 2 hours now. I'm ready for bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been
The interrogation video is like 4 hours long.
It's very long.
Yeah. So I think we got about half an hour through it. So we'll have to break it down, Dad. It's probably easier to follow that way.
Yeah, and I'll download it and run it through my program and get it louder.
Yeah, so we can get the volume up for you.
Yeah, it's
and let me long. Real quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and post Brendan's mailing address in the chat here. So 1 second.
We can't. Yeah, post that in the chat, and I'll get it. Me and Linda we'll get it to Dad so he can write him too.
I'd appreciate that. I'd like to write to the guy.
Thank you.
Absolutely. He loves mail from everybody. And he would love to especially hear from you because you do have something in common with him, you being incarcerated. So he can relate to that in a way. And plus also I think it's important that people who have been in his situation write to him because it does give him some hope that there's life outside of prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're in trouble like that, it means the world to have some support out there. Believe me, I mean, it means the world.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you guys for doing this because it's very important to us.
It's very important. Yes,
yeah.
It means the world to me that there's people that are still interested in his story and
me too.
And what he's going through.
Thanks, Dad.
You guys are really wonderful. I love you.
So I was upstairs and couldn't hear, trying to pause and play the computer, Dad. So what are you thinking so far from what you're hearing?
I think they got this guy, I gotta say this properly. He's scared. I can tell he's scared. And he's trying to, he stopped asking him leading questions. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Basically, they're putting words in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
About everything, about where the vehicle was, about what color the vehicle was, about what time it was.
Yeah.
And they're not happy. They keep asking him the same questions until he gives the answers that they want.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
Pretty much directing it like it's a play, you know. And that's the way they work. That's the way they do it, and it's you know, that's how they're trained to do it. And it's right and it's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the justice system, right?
Yeah.
And it's the weakest part. The weakest part of the justice system is the cops that are under pressure to solve cases, especially, you know, terrible cases where women get murdered, stuff like that. They're under a lot of pressure to solve it, and they don't really care sometimes at whose expense they're doing that. You know, it happens all the time. I know. I'm not so sure it happens that much in Canada, but in the States it sure does. I mean, I heard a program one time. They said that there was over 3,500 people released off of death row.
Yep.
In the United States after DNA evidence became available to them, and that's just off of death row. Never mind the guys that were doing life, 10 years and 20 years, 400 years in some cases. You know.
In 2019, they released 129 people just in Illinois alone.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's criminal.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here every day trying to fight for it to get released.
That's criminal. That's criminal. I mean, wow. And they still have the death penalty in most states, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't have it in Wisconsin though.
Right.
Yeah, not in Wisconsin. I think they took it off of. Did they take? No, they didn't take it off of Texas yet.
Nope.
No,
Texas.
still in Texas.
They just took it off of Virginia. It's the first southern state to ever take it off the books.
Yeah, we got rid of it in 1969 in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm totally opposed to death row. Or death penalty, 100%.
Oh, yeah, it's a terrible thing. They have no right. I mean, you just have to wonder sometimes how many people that they've executed were innocent.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
They like to play the hype about the ones that they know that are like Bundy and people like that. Jeffrey Dahmer, one of the high-profile ones, so they look like they're doing their job right and everything. Everyone should trust in them. But man, oh man, I couldn't imagine doing one day inside a prison cell for something I didn't do.
Yep.
It would really, really rip me apart.
Yeah.
I'd be so angry and so, you know.
And Brendan's not. He's very positive.
I'll be very honest with you guys up there. I was guilty of just about everything they ever charged me with.
He admits it.
And I did my time.
Yep.
You know, I did my time. But
And now you want to take that and turn it around and make it good.
Turn around and help others. Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's what it's about. We all make mistakes in life, and we all make, bad decisions. It's about what we do with that, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Becca, how did you get onto the case? I forget what you said.
I watched it in 2015 when it came out in December 2015. And sorry, hold on.
Okay, Lisa.
I have to plug in my switch. I'm back. Yeah, I watched it in 2015 when it came out in December, and I just wrote to him as soon as I could, and that's how it started.
You were just not believing, you wanted to reach out to learn more, or did you right away feel horrible for him, or how did that go?
So I didn't really fully understand everything. I just, I saw Brendan sitting there, and me and Brendan are the same age. So a a lot of people say they saw their own son in him, and honestly, I saw myself in him.
I just think
so. And I honestly, I felt, I don't know. I felt like this was a guy who needed help, and I don't know.
Hey, right.
I just felt like I needed to somehow help him, and I needed to know that he was okay. So my first letter to him was just say, hey, you know, I'm here, and I've seen your story, and I believe that you're innocent, and you know, I hope you're doing okay. I actually told him he didn't have to write me back, and he wrote me back saying, ask me questions. So like,
and for me, it was, I had to research and find out the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I watched the documentary, and I thought Steven was guilty at first.
Yeah.
And it took me looking into the case and into the documents to finally fully understand, because like a lot of people say like, oh well, it's a one-side documentary. It's like, no, I mean, it took me actually researching into it to realize that Steven was innocent. I knew from the get-go that Brandon was.
Okay, even if I go back and forth with Steven, but let's say the people who talk like that, Becca, are, let's say they're right. Okay,
right,
let's feed into that and say they're right. Even if Steven was to be found guilty, well, I guess he is found, whatever. You know what I mean?
If he was
no matter
guilty,
what,
yeah.
I don't think Brandon should have been charged at all. He's a pawn. He's being used to get to Steven. So either way, let's be the assholes that are saying, how could you support Steven? He's guilty. Okay, let's pretend that's actually true.
Right.
Brandon still should not be taking charges that don't belong to him.
They should have never convicted him in the first place, because Steven was convicted first. They could have said, okay, bye-bye, David or Brendan, you don't even need to be here.
Yeah, no,
Ginger, you can't eat the dishwasher.
Okay, hold on.
That's Mom.
Oh, I'm like, where's that coming from?
My mom is yelling at my dog. Sorry. She's a puppy and she chews on everything. Anyway, so yeah, if it was 100% Steven did this and Brendan, I still would believe Brendan is innocent, that he was just some scared 16-year-old kid that used to manipulate. And you know, and even if on like in some weird alternate universe that Brendan is guilty, the fact that he's a kid and they're doing this to a child,
it was
still is wrong.
Yeah.
You still should have a lawyer. You should still have a parent in there with you. He was denied basic rights because he couldn't understand them, and then to go through trial with absolutely no evidence other than this court's confession, like that's wrong in on itself. Where's the evidence that this kid did all this stuff?
And they should never.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's that, Dad?
Okay, you said that the police in Wisconsin are known for corruption.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they are.
What about these two detectives that were interrogating Brandon?
Oh, well,
that'd be worth a look. I haven't actually dug into them.
Let me tell you, one of them is the sheriff of the county he worked for. He got promoted. The other one did too, but he's now retired. So everybody in this case that was part of it got promotions and their jobs were upgraded.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
That's one of the places we're actually rallying in July, is in front of Calumet County Sheriff's Office, where Mark Wiegert is.
Yep. One of the detectives.
One of the detectives that did
Calumet County?
Calumet.
Yep, Calumet. Did I say it wrong again?
Calumet County.
That's in Chicago, right?
No, that's in Wisconsin. See, the name of the county that they got him in is called Manitowoc, Wisconsin.
Oh.
Okay.
Becca, where are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I am in Arizona.
Yeah, where are you? Arizona. Ah.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yes.
Cool.
I'm really far away in the mountains.
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
Is it warm weather or cold weather where you are?
Right now, it's starting to warm up. It was in the 70s today. It was a beautiful day out. I wanted to open the house up, but like it's been in the 30s and 20s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it can get cold here too, and it can snow here if it wants to.
I can tell. I can tell when you're tired, honey.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living, Becca?
I'm a caregiver for intellectually disabled individuals.
I figured you were a nurse just from the way you were talking. I was sure you were a nurse. Well, you got a big heart. You got a big heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a big heart to be able to deal with this kind of stuff. Well, we do this kind of stuff every day, don't we, ladies? And
yeah,
every day.
You know, like Linda said, me and Linda live and breathe this case in Brendan's. Every day we try to do something new for Brendan, something positive for him. We also try to spread his word, his story.
Yeah, I'm into all wrongful convictions. I believe 1 minute in prison or jail when you didn't do something is completely too much.
Yeah.
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 So there's just so much wrong with this case that even if, like I said, even if Brendan and Steven were guilty, there still was so much wrong they did in this case.
Yeah, fair trial.
So much corruption, so much cover up that, we don't know what actually happened to Teresa Halbach because of so much cover up and the evidence is just gone.
And
yeah, wait till you hear about all that, Dad, where they actually found Steven Avery's, like, from when he had his blood drawn or something, like years prior. They actually found a leak in that, in the packaging, like broken into. The sticker that should be sealed. The seal was broken. There's droplets of blood spilt around the bottle of it.
There's let's put it this way, the lab tech that did this is very corrupt.
Yeah.
Right. I also want to point out, like, a lot of people say that pinprick in the actual vial, that's normal with vials, that it's the fact that the seal on the actual vial was broken, meaning they took the stopper off of it to swab it. But yeah.
There's just so much, like you said.
The seal was broken, and then there was blood droplets on the outside, right? Like on the styrofoam container where the seal was.
I don't remember that much, but the seal was broken to the evidence.
Yeah, that's wrong.
We still find things, and I'm in it 4 years. There's people in it longer than that, like Becca, and even from the very beginning, still finding
2015, 2015. So
2015, it came out December 18th on my birthday. 2015.
So have you been doing this? Is that 7 years? 5, 10, 20, 1, 2, 7 years?
Yeah.
Wow. So. Becca, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Both of you, that's amazing.
Still finding things.
Mr. Sher's tired. Yeah, he had to work today. We're gonna this is his show, but Dad, we're gonna end this live stream. Do you want to say anything to everybody?
Yeah, been very interesting talking to you ladies tonight.
Always.
Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. I'm really, really happy that there's people like you out there.
Thank you.
There's a lot of people inside that need that support. And this guy is very fortunate to have you on his side. I can tell that.
5 years. 5 years now, Jamie. You're right. 5 years now.
5 years for Linda and 7 for Becca. That is awesome.
Way to go, ladies. Way to go.
Yeah.
And honestly, it makes me more sad, if anything, because that means it's been much longer for Brendan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Adrian,
Adrian. Becca, really quick, it's on the top of my mind. Sorry, Mama. Becca, is there any? So when we write, when I know Mr. Cher's gonna write, my dad's gonna write, we'll all write. But is there any kind of regulations for letters? Does it have to be a certain paper? Do you want to go over that with us?
Yeah, so Brendan's mail is being sent to an outside facility outside of Wisconsin, and they are very particular. You have to make sure that you have your full name and address on the envelope. Make sure you have his full name, address, DOC number. You even have to spell out Oshkosh Correctional Institution, like no abbreviations. Make sure that
I'll send it to you in a text, Dad.
Yeah, I posted the address in the chat, but make sure you have that. And then on the letter itself, also make sure you have your full name and address, only because he may not read the address well on the envelope. But if your address, if your return address and name is not on the envelope in the right spot, they won't give him the letter.
Right.
Okay, did they like it on the back or on the front?
On the front.
On the front of the envelope, in the left corner.
On the front left-hand corner.
Yes, sir.
Front left-hand corner. Yeah. No problem.
And then
I'm very familiar with that.
no glitter, no stickers, no perfume, no drugs, no alcohol.
Yeah, you don't gotta tell me. Dad, I remember when I first wrote you in prison.
I better not be smoking marijuana when I write the letter.
Yeah,
I wouldn't, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they probably
Just
won't
to
give
be
it to him.
safe. Yeah.
I just want to say,
that's
Adrian, your letter was beautiful, and I'm writing you, but it'll take me a little bit longer to get, because I got a lot to say.
Aw.
Okay, cool. Take your time. I hope you enjoyed my letter.
I did very much. Thank you.
Aw, you guys are cute.
You can't see my face while I'm telling you this.
I've been teasing Linda for like a couple of weeks now with this. So, like, Linda.
Linda and Adrian sitting in the tree.
Okay, guys. That's a little embarrassed if you can't see my face.
At least I like this, Mom.
She's a good mom.
I do love you.
She's a good partner. I'm very happy and proud to have Linda as my partner in this. She's helped me so much, and she gives me way too much credit.
No, I don't think so. You deserve it, Becca.
Yes, you do.
Nah, I'm just doing. Yeah.
Aw. He said thank you for helping me out too, guys. Aw.
Yeah.
Every time I feel like I'm just gonna start crying.
I can't. You can't see my face, so you do not know.
Well, yeah, Dad, we're gonna do some. We're gonna do some. Oh, our friend Dave. He's from the UK, Dad. He says hello.
Hi, Dave.
No,
I was gonna say, sure.
He's not from the UK. He's from Australia.
Oh, hey.
Sure.
Yeah.
Does your dad have an email?
Not well, he does, but he doesn't know how to use it yet. Not till we go there will he know. But I did set him up an email, but he doesn't have access to it yet.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say I'd love to email him pictures of the area I live in. Because I bet you he. Because when people think Arizona, they think desert. But I bet.
Yeah.
I can give you my dad's phone number. He can get text messages.
If you have international calling, otherwise you can't.
Yeah, only if you have international, you can send him picture messages and text messages.
I can receive calls, but I can't make them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just to answer real quickly in the chat, pens is okay. I'm gonna say use black pen, and you can use pencil. Now they copy the letter, so like. Brendan loves seeing pictures of places and things. He loves hearing stories about where you live. So I, go ahead and send him anything you guys think that he'd like to see as far as pictures and all that. But please note that if you send him a picture, the original picture will be destroyed. They send him a copy of it. Okay. So what I tell people to do is print out your pictures and stuff like on computer paper, and then send him that. And if you have drawings and stuff you want to send him, scan those and send him the copy of the drawings. Don't send him the original drawings. Save those for when he gets out.
Right
And
on.
he keeps everything. His mother has a room.
He does.
Where everything that has ever been sent to him, and believe me, Becca has sent him a library, and I've seen it. I've been in the room, and it is
wow.
there.
You're very wonderful people.
I send him books and
Really
stuff. He
amazing.
reads a lot.
Aw.
We believe in innocence. That's the whole bottom line. We believe in innocence and justice for everybody. And if you're not getting it, well, we're going to fight for it.
We believe in being good humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good
Like,
human.
That's the other
like I
thing
was
is
saying
if
earlier,
What was that, Dad?
there's no such thing as a perfect system.
no,
Because
there isn't.
we are silly human beings. You know, we make mistakes. So there's no perfect system. But there are, there's no excuse for corruption. I mean, there's always mistakes and then there's corruption. I've heard so much about it. But, it's a living, breathing thing everywhere. We know what's happening in the United States, Canada, we hear it on the news, but we're in civilized countries. Can you imagine how it must be in some foreign countries where they just drag you out in the street and shoot you if they think you did something? I mean, no matter how we try, we're never going to have a perfect system. There's always going to be mistakes made at the expense of people like Brandon, and it's a sad truth, it's a sad reality. It's just wonderful for folks like you out there that want to help.
Thank you, Callie.
Thanks, Kelly.
So,
Thank you, Jamie, for being here.
Jazzy's mom, long story short, not at this point.
No.
Not for the new trial yet, right?
No, Steven's lawyer, because like it's been pointed out, Brandon and Steven had 2 different trials. They've been convicted 2 different charges. Steven's got different lawyers than Brendan's got, and Steven's lawyer, Kathleen Zellner, is trying to get a retrial or a new trial. She's in the process of doing that, but Brendan's his lawyers haven't done anything publicly in the last 4 years.
So Becca,
Really?
why is it whatchamacallit? Is Kathleen not able to fight for Brandon and Steven? Is it like a conflict or something, or?
Brendan's got lawyers that deal with juvenile convictions and wrongful convictions, and who specialize in that. And Kathleen Zellner, and so Brendan's had his lawyers since 2008, 2009. So he was represented long before Steven was. Steven's lawyer, Kathleen Zellner, didn't come into the picture until after Making a Murderer came out.
Right.
So I think it's just a matter of they just had two different lawyers representing it, Kathleen Zellner is a very good lawyer.
Yeah.
But like I said, because they're 2 different cases, they would just 2 different
Right. Even if
ways
Steven
of going
got
about
out,
it.
even if Steven got out, Brendan's not guaranteed because he's convicted on words. And
He's,
so
different. He has different charges than Steven. Steven's charged on murder, and Brendan's charged on rape, murder, mutilation of a dead body.
Rape?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
rape?
Yeah, he raped.
Yeah, because in Brendan's confession.
Yeah. But there's no proof of anything.
There's no proof of rape.
Zero DNA. Zero DNA of
like
Brendan.
for instance, just a little tidbit, and then but like for instance, he said that they tied Teresa Halbach to Steven's bed and raped her repeatedly and cut her throat and all this stuff. But in evidence pictures, you're seeing the police officer sitting on a bare mattress, not a single drop of blood, semen, sweat, anything was found on that mattress,
Not
and they're
one
sitting
hair.
on it. And they're sitting on it.
And they're sitting on the crime scene.
They're sitting on the mattress that supposedly this woman was tied to and raped and tortured.
And there was nothing there.
And there's nothing there. I mean, there's usual stains that you'd get from old men sleeping on a mattress.
Is there a racial aspect to this too? Or?
No.
No, this is all poor middle America.
Yeah. Yeah, they owned a junkyard. They're just what some label as white trash.
Simple,
I mean, no, that's what they call them. That's
simple
what they were
people.
calling them.
Simple people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jamie. That means a lot.
We'll have to get you a shirt, Pops, because everything, when they sell the shirts and stuff, they donate that money to Brandon's books, right?
Yep.
Yep, it all goes straight to Brendan in his commissary, and he uses it to make phone calls, write letters. Get,
awesome.
It takes the burden off
food.
his parents.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I'd like to write you guys a letter for sure. I'll help support him too if I can somehow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Even just writing to him though means the world to him.
Yeah. We just want everybody to know the story.
So Becca, we'd love to have you guys on with Mr. Dassey sometime. If you want. Anytime you can plan that, we'll make it work on our end, and we'll let Dad know, and he'll call in. And
yeah, absolutely. I just need to. My work schedule is crazy, so I just need to get a day that me and Pete have both free at the same time. It's usually Friday, but you know, we can maybe do something after Friday, after our usual show, maybe.
Yeah, evenings are fine on Friday too. You usually go earlier on Fridays, like around 4.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
But
we can do.
What we could do is also cancel on a Friday on our channel.
No,
over here.
or how about we could stream on both channels so you're still not missing it, or you do yours and we do ours after, whatever works. Don't
ours usually isn't super long. It's just a hour long, you know,
Well,
and then we can
can't
jump over
cancel that.
here.
I just want to tell you, when you meet Mr. Dassey, you're meeting Brendan.
Yeah, you can tell.
They even look alike.
Yeah, they do every
Yes,
time.
they do.
And seeing Mr. Dassey up there smiling and letting loose with you guys, it's nice to see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was my dream. It was my dream to get the family to come on YouTube and speak and support Brendan. And
I'm not gonna lie, I do have some issues with the mom.
most people do, but they don't know the story. And
Yeah.
if you did, you know, if once you find out, I did too. I got to tell you, I did.
Some of the story, like even
there's a
listening
lot.
to Becca talk about it, I'm like, that's not what's on the. But I'll be nice. But I don't. My kid would never be in that room by themselves.
No.
Right, and see, there's a lot of coulda, shoulda, woulda with the case.
That's
like, you know, hindsight is 20/20,
you
and
have
when
to
you
beat yourself up more than anyone else.
right,
anyway,
well,
for
that's
that.
what I was just gonna say.
She does.
She doesn't. There's a lot of things that if she could redo over, like if she could bust down that door, she probably would have. If she'd known half the shit that, you know, Brendan was even saying. Like I said, they manipulated the whole family just as much as they manipulated Brendan in that interview.
Oh, they sure did. Yeah, I just kind of saw that too.
They still do terrorize that family. I just want you to know that they still terrorize.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
But this has really been great. You look so tired, Cher, and I
am tired. I didn't sleep very good last night.
Up at 3 with Chubbs.
Yeah. People are like, she was up all night doing meth. I'm like, I was doing research, and I also didn't take my sleeping medication last night.
You'd be tired right now, would you? You'd be going for days and days and days on this thing, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Let me meth up and then post about it, guys.
All right. It's been wonderful. I am so happy that you allowed us to come on and share this and share it with your dad.
Oh, we still got we got a lot more parts, so we got to have you guys back up here. Another. Yeah, we should do a study session maybe once or something a week. I know you guys are busy with Dad to get him caught up on everything. And
anytime I get to
anytime you guys want us here, I'm always free at night.
Yep.
Perfect.
Thank you, everybody in chat. I really appreciate it. And Jamie, thank you so much for being here.
Yay, JB!
It's really been a long time, and he reminded me 5 years. Jeez, I can't even believe it.
That's
We started
crazy.
at the same time, so
He's on another channel a lot, Millbilly's channel.
yeah, and we
That's
don't
another
ever see
great
him,
channel.
so
Really quick, well, Dad, we're gonna hang up from here. Do you want to say anything to Linda before we go?
Yeah.
I love you.
no, shut up.
No.
You're writing another letter soon.
What?
I guess it's about 3 weeks to a month, the time factor. From
Yeah.
when we mail letters to when we get them. Yeah, okay. No
Yeah.
problem. Yeah, I hope you like my letter. And
I loved
try to send you some info on the place where I live. So,
Great,
quite a nice little town here.
Oh.
great. I'll be looking
Okay,
forward to it.
take care.
You too. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Dad. I'll call you tomorrow. I love you too. Want to say bye?
Later, Adrian.
You could tell she's blushing. I could hear it through her
That's it.
microphone.
All right. Bye, Pop. Love you.
Thanks, guys. That's really, really wonderful of you to do this. Share your large channel for this. It really helps. I really appreciate it.
He
You guys are
loves
so great.
that. Well, I hate to say he loves that case, but it is one of the cases that Mark's passionate about. So
Oh, very.
he
Yeah.
wants to.
I appreciate it.
There's so much stuff you guys could do with Mr. Dassey and Mr. Cher doing like you know what he's capable of with his videos and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful. I'd love to see
Absolutely,
you
and
do a documentary just about Brendan. Would be fantastic.
Whenever you guys want.
I would love that.
Actually, Becca and Linda, it would be good to document, like how I want him to document my journey through the wells stuff and meeting my dad. You guys would be really good to document because you have a lot too. Do a
I got a
documentary
hell
with
of a lot. My
your
story is
journey,
crazy.
being in touch and with friends and all that too.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
appreciate
interesting.
Yeah. thank you,
But I'm up
everybody.
for anything that helps Brendan. So
Yep.
Yeah, get his name out there, let people
yeah,
know. Another thing too, Becca and Linda, you both know, there's a stigmatism around writing prisoners in general.
yeah, there is.
And I think it does make it when people see like you or I or any of us and we're doing it and it's okay. I think it makes it less taboo for people and they're more willing to reach out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's everybody. A lot of people are afraid to write to Brendan because they think that somebody might get a hold of their address. It doesn't work like that. Brendan's really good at keeping his correspondence private to him, and a lot of people in prison actually respect that. Very rarely do you see somebody, unless somebody's selling addresses, and that Brendan doesn't do that.
Yeah, and let's put it this way: Brendan doesn't even tell who he talks to.
Yeah, he doesn't
anybody.
even. I mean, yeah, he doesn't tell
All
anybody, his inmate friends or anybody.
Yeah, he's very good. He's a wonderful, wonderful man, really, for everything
he
he's
is.
been through. He is a wonderful, very hopeful, very positive, and we try to keep that on our channel that way. And we try to keep just nothing but positive because he's been through hell. He lives hell every day. Thank you, Becca, my partner, who I love very much. Thank you, Mark, so very much. But I'm getting off here because I'm tired too.
Yeah, thank you.
Love you guys. Love you, honey. Be good, kiddo.
Talk to you guys later. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Becca. Love you.
Love you guys too.
Well, that was pretty interesting. Sorry that the video playback was so quiet. That's actually that particular video. Even if you listen to it, it's quiet. So I'm going to download it and run it through my program and boost the volume. So when we do the next part, you'll be able to hear it a lot better. But yeah, this was good. I know it's not as trendy or whatever as the Summer Wells case, but it's a case that is important to us because there's just so much corruption, and there's as far as I'm concerned, there's two people in prison that shouldn't be, because Teresa's murder, if she was actually murdered, did not happen the way these guys were convicted of it happening. There's just no evidence to support it. This cat, oh my God. Ow, ow. Hey. Jesus. But all right. Yeah, he tried to climb me earlier. Okay, how about we do this? Get your claw on my shoulder. There. All right? You're a baby. Fur babies. So tomorrow for morning coffee, I'll be chatting with Small Town New York, aka Kelly, right? Cher's setting that up now. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one. And we'll just be chilling, talking, having some laughs, the usual stuff that goes down with the morning coffees. So hope to see you all there. And that's it for this one. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you to people who gave super chats. You're awesome. And all of you just for being here. Means a lot. So thanks, and we'll catch you on the next one. And until then, this is True Crime Productions with Prairie Boy, name, aka Mr. Cher, saying good day, good night, and Godspeed.